Welcome back to In Ohio Country today, and we're here in beautiful Botkins, Ohio at the Palazzo Event Center, and with me is Randy Barclay with Rain and Hail. Randy, glad to have you with us today.
It's a pleasure to be here, Alan.
Randy, we're here talking about crop insurance, and obviously you're with Rain and Hail and one of our approved insurance providers. Talk a little bit about your background and how you happened to get in the crop insurance business.
I've been lucky, and I was lucky enough to grow up on a family farm. Grew up south of Springfield, Ohio, near a little community called Clifton. Today, my family farm, or my dad and two brothers farmed together as a row crop operation, farmed corn and soybeans. And so I pursued a production agriculture career, spent many years in the seed business. And more recently, and the company that I worked for in the seed business was in the crop insurance space. And so I began in the multi-peril, or the federal crop insurance space, in 2004. And my path led me to Rain and Hail, where I've worked in the marketing group since 2014, and travel Ohio and Michigan.
Well, Randy, it's great having you with us today. And so when we're here at our annual risk management seminar, we are talking about bringing crop insurance changes in and bringing folks up to date as to what's really going on in the marketplace. We had some folks here talking about grain marketing and some private products. But do you want to kind of just touch on what we see happening in the crop insurance space?
Sure. Well, it's a program that, as it's evolved over time, has really become very refined, and I think is working really effectively. It's become, of course, it's an important part for our local farmers as a safety net to help protect the risks that are associated with growing a crop. There's a lot that stands between planting a crop and harvesting, isn't there? In order to reach a successful crop. So, what we've seen over time is a considerable participation, where today about 89% of all the insurable acres across, or all the insurable crop acres for food and feedstuff, are now protected with the federal crop insurance program. So as it's evolved, each year there are tweaks, modifications, or I would tell you really refinements to further enhance the program. In the more recent years, those have been relatively low in number. What I would say is that that's a sign that the program is working particularly effectively. So there's some minor tweaks or further refinements for 2018, which, as you mentioned, that's what has us in Bodkins today, visiting with producers, talking about some of the protections that are built into the program around protecting yield. We also talked about things like yield cups, which were designed to mitigate against the effects of disastrous years, like we had in 2012 across much of this area. We also talked about prevented planting and some changes that have occurred there, changes to the final planting date for the corn crop, or the end of the final plant period for corn, and also spoke about some of the private products that also help to further enhance the program and mitigate risk for growers in the area.
It's interesting. We talk about the federal program and the subsidized portion of that and the private products. Something else that is really forefront also is whole farm. We kind of touched on a little bit today, but whole farm is coming more into the picture as well.
Yeah, well, Whole Farm was evolved out of a program that had already existed as a pilot program. However, it was only available in the margins of the country. We saw a lot of participations, particularly along the western coast and eastern coast, where there tend to be more specialty crops. So as the farm bill that we operate under today was born, or came to be in 2014, it created whole farm revenue protection. So it involved and enhanced, again, the program that we formerly knew as adjusted gross revenue, and particularly designed for producers that have a lot of diversification in their operations. It's ensuring dollars instead of actually crop yields, and a real benefit to those that are planting crops across our area that aren't insurable with traditional crop insurance products.
Yeah, with whole farm, you can if you're raising fresh market sweet corn, different things like fresh market tomatoes, produce, cattle to some extent, and some of those specialty crops, you could really benefit from a whole farm policy.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it's a program that works certainly differently than what producers are accustomed to, so they need a good agent like you in Denver, Davis, to work them through the specifics and whether or not there might be a good fit for them and how the program functions.
Well, Randy, always a lot going on. There's always a lot of products, a lot of private products. And so if somebody wanted to find out more information, where are they going to go?
They need to go to their agent, and they need to see Allen Davis Insurance Agency, you in Denver, who have a lot of experience in the program and can help growers kind of navigate that field of risk management solutions.
give us a call at 419-738-7447 or check us out on the web at allendavisinsurance.com.
Allen Davis Insurance Agency, with 30 years commitment to the community, providing quality insurance services. Allen is a business owner and an active farmer, and he knows firsthand the pressures of running your farming operation. Call Allen today and ask about coverage for your farm, your vehicles, your equipment, crops, and more. Call 1-800-686-2148. That's 1-800-686-2148.